Okay, we're taking a look at section 6.2, question 16 here. It says if you're a parent planning your daughter's wedding reception, you're going to pay $800 to rent the hall for the reception, and you hire a caterer that charges $20 for each guest. So question A is to write an equation that you would use to calculate the cost of the wedding reception, where C is the cost and X is the number of guests. Okay, and so I've written that equation out here. C, the cost, is based on two things. First, we have to rent the hall, which is $800. So that's just kind of a constant value we're adding on the end. That is regardless of how many guests we have. That's just going to stay nice and constant at $800. Now, the number of guests that show up is going to increase the price as we go. So this is the part where we want $20 for every guest. So 20x would take care of that. For example, if we had one guest, then we'd pay $20 because we take 20 times 1, 2 guests, 20 times 2 would be $40, so on and so forth. So here's our cost equation. And I think sometimes it's easier to see the cost equation or write the cost equation after we kind of fill in the chart here. So if we had 0 guests, it's still going to cost us $800 to rent the hall. And I've kind of shown the calculations here. If we had 50, what I'm thinking is we would take 50 times $20 per guest. That would tell us how much it costs for the caterer, plus the 800 would give us 1,800. I think once you actually, if you went through and calculated this okay, well, this is exactly what the equation is doing up here. If we compare this to the equation, what we're doing is we're taking this 800 on the end and then taking 20 times the number of guests here. So that's, again, sometimes it's easier to start with the table and write the chart. The other thing we want to do here is we want to make sure we get a nice consistent graph. So based on the numbers I had here and the price I wanted to span, I wanted to be able to show $800 pretty clearly, and I wanted to be able to go up past $3,800. So I just made each of these tick marks $1,000, going up the scale there. I wanted to make sure I could accommodate 150, at least 150 guests. So I put each of these at 25 guests along the way, and then I just graph them. First one is 0 and 800, so right about there. And then we go up to 50, we want 1,800, so right about there. 100, we want 2,800. And then 150, 3,800. And then we just go ahead and connect that with a straight line to make our graph.